How do self-help books actually work? Most people go to sleep unhappy with their lives, wishing they were doing a little better for themselves and the people around them. This unhappiness has spawned a whole industry around self-help books, but their effectiveness remains somewhat debated. People have been reading self-help books ever since to help them make better lives for themselves. People in the 1800s put a lot of effort into making people strong of character. I mean, even back in the early 1900s, Dale Carnegie wrote a classic called How to Win Friends, Influence People, which basically was about how to make people like you more. Today in these self-help books, you can learn how to form good habits and reach your goals, how to lose weight, become more productive, get over anxiety, and live your best life in general. It is, therefore, not surprising that over the past decade, bibliotherapy has been increasingly popular. In the US alone, over 18 million self-help books are sold yearly, and it's pretty clear why people want these books. Yes, life can be hard, frustrating and confusing, but it is a time of opportunities and promise. Who doesn't want to know how to get through the tough times and how to enjoy the good times? In essence, we all want to become better people. But here is something we may not normally consider. How have these books really helped us? There are so many topics in self-help books, ranging from relationship enhancement to productivity enhancement. But generally, there are basically two major categories: problem-oriented and growth-oriented. Problem-focused self-help books are those dwelling on particular problems, like insomnia, stresses, addiction, anxiety, and sadness. On the other hand, personal development books deal with larger and more general things like happiness, identifying the purpose of life, setting goals, enriching one's job, and perfecting relationships. There is strong proof that self-help books that focus on solving problems can assist readers greatly. For example, one meta-analysis on using self-help books to treat depression found that they can be just as effective as individual or group therapy. Other studies have shown similar benefits for using self-help books to address anxiety and mild alcohol abuse. You have to understand, self-help books aren't just about chasing dreams, they also address the obstacles we face. Part of what makes self-help books effective is their message that anyone can change and improve. They combat the paralyzing passivity of learned helplessness. As psychologist Stephen Starker noted in his book, Oracle at the Supermarket, the American preoccupation with self-help books. What value does an inspirational message have for those seeking health, beauty, happiness, success, and creativity? Generally, it lifts the spirit, fosters hope, and motivates people to strive towards their goals. It also fends off hopelessness, despair, and depression. This is self-help books' greatest service. However, the hope these books offer can backfire if it's too optimistic and not grounded in reality. You have to be careful. Only thinking about their goals and rewards makes people more likely to give up when they run into problems, according to research. It's important for a self-help book to both motivate you and show you how hard it will be to meet your goals. Dan Kahneman, a psychologist who won the Nobel Prize, and his co-authors came up with the name, the focusing illusion. This means that people tend to pay attention to one part of their lives and ignore other parts. This could lead to both good and bad things. However, people who read self-help books are probably already eager to get better, which is another reason why they work so well. People who read this are usually always trying to get better and find new ways to make their lives better. These readers might already be on the right track and just want to get even better. They might not go from 0% to 100% better with a self-help book. Instead, it might take them from 95% to 96% improvement. In their eyes and in the eyes of others, the book would be life-changing. The thing is, good self-help books work because they let you do the work. They don't provide specific solutions since everyone's life is different. They ask the right questions instead, which is the better move. The best self-help books make you think about and analyze yourself, which is something that many people don't do on their own. These books set off a strong feedback loop by making people think and ask themselves important questions. Today, the business industry of self-help is $10 billion strong in the United States alone over the past decade. More and more people are taking their well-being and happiness into their own hands while becoming wary of self-help hustles and self-proclaimed gurus. But how can you choose the best self-help book when there are so many? Well, it starts with setting goals, just like other self-improvement activities like writing in a notebook. An easy way to do this is to start a list with, I want to learn how to do blank better, more or less. Make a list of things you would like to change in your life. Here's an example of what that could look like. I want to learn to be more patient with my colleagues. I want to be better with money. I want to be less messy at home. I want to switch off from work better when I'm on holiday or with friends and family. These are all goals that can benefit from self-help books. Next, find the right self-help book for your goal. A quick internet search can help. For example, if you search self-help book patience on Google, you'll find several options like The Power of Patience, How to Slow the Rush and Enjoy More Happiness, Success and Peace of Mind Every Day, Patience, The Art of Peaceful Living. There are reviews and descriptions of the books on Amazon. You can read them and pick what seems the best one for you. You should start reading the self-help book once you have found one that interests you. With reading a self-help book, you get out what you put into it. Reading to improve yourself doesn't have to be drudgery and a huge time waster, but really, you ought to. Unless the author tells you otherwise, it's always safe to read the book all the way through. Skipping around might mean you miss something important. You could also find a supportive environment for your reading. It can be outside or indoors, at home, in a library, or a cafe. Anywhere that is mainly calm and free from excessive activity around it. If you just have 15 minutes, you should wait till you have more time. Avoid reading in a rush at work or while watching TV. Though you may not agree with every word in the book, keep in mind that you picked it out for a reason. The key, of course, to any sort of improvement is to stay open-minded. If something seems strange or doubtful, make a note to revisit it later. As you read on and start practicing the advice, you might find it makes more sense, whilst on the other hand, going in with a closed mind means you could miss out on valuable insights. Most self-help books offer actionable advice. Steps you can take to make a real difference in your life. So, make a plan based on the tasks or advice in the book, then follow through with that plan. In order to see results, you need to do more than just read. A lot of the time, self-help books are about problems we all face every day. They talk about all kinds of things, like relationships, mental health, worry, and overthinking. It can be helpful to have that sort of clarity to ground you in the present moment, whilst giving you something to work towards in the future. It is pretty useful having all of that knowledge and advice right at your fingertips for prices like $10 or $15. There's a certain science to self-help books, and they work for a lot of people. Have you ever felt helped by a self-help book? Let us know what your experience was like in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching.